Hello everybody, I am Live Overdrive. This is Let's Play Betrayal at Krondor episode 7, and this is a can of Mountain Dew. Cheers. Delicious. Alright, we find ourselves today in the town of Hawks Hollow, northwest of Krondor some distance, and inland a bit across the mountains. We got here last episode by journeying south from L'Oreal. Along the way, we found, finally, Makala's Ruby, which is a quest that we were given in Lamut. We got that from a fellow that Locklear knew from history, and we traded it for repairing his sword, actually. So we have here Makala's Ruby. We are on our way to Lamut to give that back to the garrison there and get whatever reward we can from there. On the way, we also know about a chest. There's a chest somewhere west of Hawks Hollow that we're supposed to keep an eye out for because there was a scribe pretty much due north of us on the other side of this loop here on the map between Yaban and Tirsog. There was a scribe who asked us to find this chest and find out what was inside of it and tell him about it. And they said when he was talking about these chests that he made like a pointed look at Garth. So I'm thinking that we're looking for a Moradel chest. And my guess is there's going to be like a note in it or something. And he wants to know what's in that note. But I'm not exactly sure. So we're looking for some chest with something interesting in it. And we're going to tell him what we find in it, and he's going to give us a book in return. What kind of book, you ask? I actually have no idea. It could be one of those training books we've seen in a couple of stores, or it could be like this book that Owen's carrying here that we found in Macmordain Cadal, where it's just a book and we can learn about what's in it. I'm not sure. Either way, it's going to be pretty interesting. The other thing I have written on my notes here is about Hawks Hollow. When we were talking to the fellow that gave us the ruby, Isaac, he told us about Smoke Fingers, which, as I recall, is some legendary bandit or burglar that's been plaguing the town of Hawks Hollow. So maybe we're going to find out about that. I don't remember that from any Let's Plays or previous playthroughs I've done, so it could be new content for me, which would be a lot of fun. But that is neither here nor there. Well, I guess it is here, because what we're going to do now is we're going to go through Hawks Hollow. And I'm looking around here. Hawks Hollow is a one-road town, just off the main road. And we've got an inn to our right, which is where we just came from. We were sleeping in there. Up ahead, we got a shop. Looks like there's a barn and a couple of houses. So, without further ado, let's check out these houses. A man invited them inside. "Come in, my name is Lucan," he introduced himself as he slapped his guests on their backs. "Nice to meet you. I haven't had visitors in some while. You know, it gets kind of lonely up here, and the kids don't come down too often. Do you have kids? They're a marvel, don't you think?" And Locklear seized Lucan's wrist and gave it a savage twist, forcing a shiny sovereign to fall from the man's pained fingers. Everyone watched in shocked silence as the gold clattered to the floor. "I almost didn't feel you nabbing that from my purse," Locklear said. "You're not a bad thief, but not good enough." "Don't kill me," Lucan pleaded. "Please, I don't have anything to give you, but I'll do anything. I'll teach you." "You'll what?" Gorth spluttered. "I'll teach you. Yes, that's it," Lucan said, his face brightening. "Spare my life, and I'll teach you what I know about locks. Everything. What do you say?" So he's going to train our lockpicking. Is my take here. In fact, I know that's true because I accidentally started this episode without turning on OBS correctly, so I just played this a couple minutes ago. He's going to teach us lockpicking. I wish that I had remembered to turn on our focus for lockpicking so we could get a few extra points, but that's okay. We'll do it. Locklear arched an eyebrow. "Very well, Lucan," he said. "You may teach us, but if we leave here with any less than we came in with—" No, you have my word. Just sit here and I'll be right back. I'll go and fetch my practice locks and I'll be right back." "Nice try, but no. You're staying here." Locklear pushed Lucan to a seated position. "Just tell Gorth where your practice locks are and he'll fetch them. Then we'll start our lessons." Having resigned himself to the fact that he wasn't going to escape, Lucan lectured and demonstrated for the better part of the day before he set his practice locks aside. "That's it," he mumbled, wiping perspiration from his brow. "That's all I know." "Good enough," Locklear said. "I think we'll be on our way now. And Lucan, for your continued health, I would suggest that you get out of the thieving business." Indeed. All right, the party's lockpick ability has increased. Of course, Locklear's has stayed the same because you can't go higher than 100%. Owen's has gone up to a whopping 10%. He's not good at that. And Gorith is up to a modest 20. When we get the chance, we will be grinding Gorith's up to 100, but we can't do that right now because of the game mechanics. It'll only go to Locklear for the time being. But hey, I'll take that free 5% or whatever it was. That's pretty nice. As per usual, the weird noises in the background are my dog snoring away, as she does. Let's check out this house back in the woods, kind of off the path here. Locklear knocked on the door of the small house, and after several minutes, an angry one appeared at the window and began to scream at them. "Keep your bloody sovereigns! I've decided I'm not leaving!" I think I'm peaking the mic there. Let me turn that down a little bit. Let's try that again. "Keep your bloody sovereigns! I've decided I'm not leaving!" It's interesting, this conversation is not like the standard wall of text ones, where it's just text on the screen. They're actually showing, like Locklear's face is showing right now, and then it flips over to the house when the woman is talking. Interesting. Locklear says, "Why should we want you to leave?" "I refuse, you hear me? I refuse! Now go away!" Alright, what happens if we click again? Locklear knocked on the window pane. "She's not answering," he said. Alright. What happens if we try and talk to Lucan again? Locklear smiled. "Lucan's locked his door," he said. "Can't say that I blame him." Me either, although the fact that he just taught us how to pick locks makes me question the strength of his lock. Maybe it's a super special one because he knows all about lockpicking. Alright, we got a store, a barn, and a house left, so let's check the barn. Locklear pushed the door open. "Looks like an abandoned tavern." Oh, excuse me, Gorith. "Looks like an abandoned tavern," Gorith said, looking around the room. "Maybe the former owners left something behind we can use." It's a lot of food. Okay, also, a tavern? It's a barn. It's clearly a barn on the outside. Not sure what's up with that. Maybe it's just a really, really big tavern. Or maybe they did that cool, like, conversion thing, you know, like all the barns that people get married in these days, except it's a tavern. Who can say? All right, we got rations. Some of them are not spoiled. Okay, the second stack is spoiled. So we got 14 free, unspoiled rations. I will take that. For, like, canned goods or dried hardtack or something that somehow didn't get broken into by rats or whatever. I don't know. All right, we got a house and a shop left. So let's check out the house because I want to save the shop for last because they're fun. All right. The door opened a fraction of an inch. "Your hands," a voice commanded. "Pardon, what did you say?" Locklear asked. "Show me your hands," the voice repeated from the darkness. "Palms up, thumbs out, and don't make any sudden moves." Faintly amused, Locklear complied and did as asked, extending both his hands for the stranger's examination. On command, he turned his hands over, again waiting for the judgment of the voice in the house. "You pass," the voice in the house pronounced at last, but his voice did not sound relieved. "All right then, listen carefully and don't ask any questions." What was all that hand business about? "I said no questions," the voice snapped. "Suffice it to say, I know that you could be trusted with what I have to say because you don't bear the sign. You should be on the lookout for scrolls or anyone bearing scrolls. Read them carefully, they could save your life. Be safe." "Scrolls?" Locklear asked. "Why? What's on these scrolls? Does it have anything—" Abruptly, the door slammed shut. Is he just... First of all, that was amazing. And I don't know where that accent came from, but I loved it. Second of all, is he just talking about magic scrolls? I don't know. But you'd best believe that I am on the lookout for magic scrolls, much like these ones that I have here, which unfortunately is for Flamecast, which we already have. Still haven't found a place to sell that, but hey, maybe this shop... Maybe this shop is the one. I can't remember what they sell at this shop, though I have a suspicion. Let's check it out. A bell rang. No sooner had Locklear managed to get the door open than he found the shopkeeper was escorting him inside. Same description for every shop. Wonderful. We are at the Woolen Man, which is a weird name. Alright. The lay of the goods store was comfortably familiar, arranged in such a common-sense fashion that it only took a few moments for Locklear to locate the items which interested him. let's check it out. Buy and sell. Oh, it's all gemstones. We got emeralds, rubies, shell, Moradel brooch, amulet of the upright man, just a strange thing. The upright man is the head of the Thieves Guild in Krondor, and secretly the father of a prominent character in the books, Jimmy the Hand, also known as James. It looks like we got some keys too, which we certainly do not need. If you recall the locks, some locks can be opened by certain keys. It's like a few varieties of keys. So like this peasant's key here will open some locks. Virtue key will open some locks. The Gilder's Pass key will open some locks. But we don't need any of that because we have Lockley, who's amazing at picking locks now and has some lockpicks. Ring of the Golden Way. I think we have one of those, don't we? We don't. That's okay. The Ring of the Golden Way, what does it say about that? The ring was simple, an unadorned band of gold which fit awkwardly on his finger, worth only a small crafter's fee, and the gold used in its forging, the ring was still charming in its own humble way. What mystified him was the peculiar way it warmed when someone moved near him. That is telling us that if you wear this, or if you have it in your inventory, your scouting ability will increase, which is kind of neat. I don't think it's worth buying because, frankly, I don't think scouting is really all that useful. As far as I know, the only thing it does is gives you a warning of ambushes, which is fine because it gives you a chance to like quick save or whatever, but I quick save like all the time. It's just been true since I played Half-Life for the first time years and years ago. I never am not saving. So I don't, out of all the skills on this list, I feel like scouting and assessment are the least useful. I don't think we've even talked about assessment. Oh. I just right-clicked on a skill, and it says left-clicking on a skill can emphasize or de-emphasize how much the character focuses on learning that skill. That's what the red pommels are, where I've got for Goroth defense, melee, and stealth accented. Anyway, emphasized. Anyway, sorry, back to assessment. That is an action that you can do in combat, and I believe it takes your turn, but it gives you some information about the enemy you're facing. And I don't think it's really that useful, to be honest. We should try it sometime, because it's not really something I've ever done. Maybe it'll tell you weaknesses, resistances. I'm not sure. I'm not really sure how much of that there is in this game, but it's possible that certain damage types, like fire or whatever, will or won't work on people. Maybe it tells you their health. I'm not sure. I don't really see a situation where we would rather have that information than just hitting somebody with a sword, but I guess you never know. I will make a point to try that in a combat coming up, just to see what it's all about, but my impression is that assessment and scouting are kind of useless. So, all of that is to say, we're not going to buy a Ring of the Golden Way today. We are going to look at our inventory and see if there's anything that we can sell. We have a ruby, but that is for Makala and not to be sold. It's also value 1, which I think is their way of probably keeping you from cheesing it, because I imagine, I don't know how sophisticated the scripting is behind the scenes, but that's a ruby, and you can buy a ruby in this shop too if you want to. You can buy 100% ruby for 1,000 gold. So I imagine you could just come to this shop and buy a ruby and bring it back to Lamut and give it to them, and they'd probably take it, right? Like I don't imagine that ruby is somehow different in code, that they would have an identifier on it, but maybe they do. Or maybe that's the only one ruby in the game, and they check to see if the ruby is value 1. That would make a lot of sense. I don't know. At any rate, we're not going to sell it. And the fact that they've given it value 1 means that it's not really worth anything. In fact, let's check. Yeah, he would pay us 4 sovereigns. Obviously, we're not going to do that, because whatever reward they give us is probably going to be better than 4 sovereigns. All right. So we're done with that shop, and I think that is it for this town of Hawks Hollow, which mentioned in the last episode is where we told Squire Philip we were going. So we've not lied to him. We have in fact gone to Hawks Hollow. I guess we lied when we said that Locklear was Owen's uncle, but, you know, what are you going to do about that? All right, we need to head west, is my understanding. Let me return to the main road here. I believe it's coming on nighttime. Yeah, it is. And, you know, actually, before we begin our journey, as long as it's nighttime, let's go ahead and stay in the inn. Let's get Goreth those couple extra health points and get our team up to maximum. Where is the innkeeper? There he is. All right, the Nice Master looked tired. 7 sovereigns for the night, he grumbled. Yes, we will do that. Room was cramped. We've read all that. Exit. All right, I think everybody is... It is just before dawn right now. And everybody is full health. That is beautiful. Love it. And we got a lot of rations too, which is nice. Cool. All right, let me drop a quick bookmark and let's take a look at the world map. We are in Hawks Hollow, facing south. And we want to head west to Zune, which we have been to before. So this little stretch of road here is going to be some uncharted territory. And then we'll be retracing our steps a little bit to get up to Lamont. And then we'll see where we go from there. We'll probably go talk to that scribe, I would imagine, because we're going to try and find this chest on the way from Hawks Hollow to Zune. And then I think it's going to be time to head south on our way to Krondor, ever so slowly. So let's head back to the main road now. We got to keep our eyes peeled for this chest. Probably a Moradel chest. Not sure. I have no idea if it's going to be off the road or not, so I am going to wander off the road as I am wont to do, searching for hidden treasures. Oh! Locklear swallowed hard, with his heart pounding in his chest. He watched the enemy creep closer. Fighting the urge to turn around and run like hell, he forced himself to remain calm, forced himself to show no fear, despite the feelings of near panic that threatened to overwhelm him. I think this enemy must have been visible, because it wasn't like an ambush text. Oh! These are, I think they're called rogues. We fought some of them in Macmordain Cadal. Neat. Wasn't expecting that. Got surprised. Alright, it's Owen's turn. He's got a guy next to him, so he's going to play the runaway game. And Locklear is going to hit that dude that just attacked Owen. And Goreth is going to go hit that guy too. Well, he's going to try. Alright, Owen is still being aggressed by this guy, so he's just going to block for now, since running is not really getting him anything. Send Locklear and Goreth after this chap also. They've done some damage to him now. Owen, you just block. Locklear, let's see if you can take this guy down. Dang, these guys have a lot of health. There we go. The 4th or 5th good hit. Goreth gave 28 damage and knocked that guy to the ground. That was quite a lot. Yeah, these guys they're getting up there in health. That was, I think, over 100 health. Pretty good amount. Owen can cast now. And that's great. He can't do Flamecast at the moment. But he can do Despair Thy Eyes, which, frankly, is a better spell than Flamecast anyway. But it's less fun. But we can stun lock these guys, so we're gonna do that. Despair the one guy's eyes and despair the other. The other guys are gonna swing. They're not doing a lot of hitting here, unfortunately. Despite Owen making them blind and stunned. Goreth and Locklear, well, there's a couple hits. Good job. Alright. Apparently Owen's stunned didn't take. That other guy just attacked, but... Alright, another guy down. We'll just gang up on this 3rd guy. Owen is gonna move. Oh, he can't go further back because there's a mountain in the way. So Owen can't really move into position, so I'm just gonna let him rest while the other two bring this dude down. Actually, that's a lie. We're gonna despair his eyes. Because resting doesn't do anything right now. Because they are fully healed, basically. Alright, Locklear. Nice hit, 16 damage. Gorith misses, that's fine. Locklear, go for it. Miss. Gorith, come on. 24 damage, that's what I like to see. Locklear, hit. 18 damage and he's down. Nice work. He was alive. Unsure whether it was skill or luck that had won them the fight, Locklear set aside his weapon, though he allowed his dead opponent a wide berth while he checked on Gorith's welfare. He needed no further excitement for the day. The party's abilities have increased. What do we got? Accuracy melee from Locklear, as well as a strength buff. That's nice. That means he's going to do a little bit more damage. Owen's defense has gone up. Also good. And nothing for Gorith, but that's fine. Locklear needs a little strength. He's a little weak, at least compared to Gorith, but Gorith is a very strong man. Alright, let's search these fellows. We got 19 gold. Love to see it. We got 11 rations that are somehow not poisoned. Share those with the party. We got a sword and some armor. We'll take the sword. I'm going to dump all of our armor onto this body. And we'll give this sword to Lockie. And we'll give it a quick repair while we're at it. Good. Alright, next body. We got one of the keys we almost just bought. Well, we talked about buying a Gilder's Pass key. Nice, and then sword and armor. So we'll take the sword. Hopefully we find a place to sell it soon. If not, it's not the end of the world because they are not expensive. So that's good. Locklear's weaponcraft has increased. Excellent. We already searched that body. And the third one. There is gold. There is a whetstone, which is excellent. There's sword and armor and a note. So we'll take that note so we can read it. And I'm going to give this sword to Locklear after I make some space in his inventory. Which is getting full. Alright. Locklear's sword is getting down there. It's at 64%, so that's good. Working on that. I'm gonna have him repair Gorith's sword. I'll have Gorith repair his own armor. I'm not gonna bother with Locklear's right now. Let's check out this note. Mates, it looks as if I may have opened my mouth a bit too wide. I think those funny-talking elves what lived in the Northlands may have caught on to the fact that I've nicked some of their booty. You best go and clear out our safe box near Hawk's Hollow, but remember, I put a lock on it so none else could get in it. I puts a lock on it so none else could get in it. Lucan, our friend Lucan. I like that consistency there. So we just got jumped by some of Lucan's buddies. Wouldn't be surprised if he sent them a message. That's fun. All right, so we got to be on the lookout for another chest west of Hawk's Hollow. Presumably near here. That's got, I guess, some Moradel treasure in it. That's kind of fun. I think we can leave that note behind because we don't really need it anymore. But I will, I'll make a note that says there's a lockbox. Lucan. Alright, cool. So, be on the lookout for even more chests. Now, where are we? We are in the forest, in view of the main road. I guess I will head back to said main road. Okay, that's east. That's not where I want to be going. Alright, let's continue west. Locklear struggled to make sense of it all. As the enemy advanced, this is weird. We got just fights coming out of nowhere. Locklear struggled to make sense of it all. As the enemy advanced, his concentration was in two places. In his legs, making certain of his stance and balance, and on his opponents, wondering how they had been able to track them down so quickly. All such thoughts were quickly forgotten as the enemy charged into their ranks. Alright, these are two Moradel warriors this time, and they've not gotten close enough to prevent Owen from raising hell. So let's chuck a Flamecast in there if we can. We can't, because Locklear is standing in front of us. That's fine. We'll despair one of their eyes instead. Marvelous. Alright, Locklear is going to attack this front man, and Gorth is going to advance, but he can't quite get there. And now we've just got man-to-man coverage up front, and Owen hanging out behind. So we'll drop another Despair Thy Eyes, and see where that lands us. Locklear's going to attack his guy. Gorth's going to attack his guy. I'm going to have Owen move to the side so he can chuck some fireballs if need be. Locklear will hit this fellow, Gorth will hit this fellow, and now it's time for Owen to have a little fun. We'll chuck a 15 damage Flamecast for 5 stamina, and you hit Locklear. Owen, really? Did you have to? Alright. That's fine. Locklear's got the health. Both of our swordsmen missed, and Owen is going to try and redeem himself with the Flamecast. He biffs this one, I'm going to make him heal Locklear. Alright, well he missed that one, but he didn't hit anybody, so that's fine. Locklear knocks out the first guy, and I'm going to have Owen move a little bit further so that he can hit him as well. Send both of our guys in. And actually Owen's going to do a Despair Thy Eyes because he doesn't have line of sight to these dudes. To this bad guy, that is. And man, our guys can't hit with their swords. Rather embarrassing. Ooh, Gorth just did either 32 or 22 damage. Either way, it's pretty good. 24, there we go. They're both down. Battle was won, search the bodies. We will. We got a Moradel Lamprey. Love to see that. Do we have room for it in our inventory? Yes. We are running out of room, though. We really need to clear out some of these swords. So I'm going to give one of these to Gareth, and I'll give the Lamprey to Locklear to repair. Wonderful. And he's carrying some silver, too. Good. And then the other guy... That's not the other guy. The other guy has a broadsword, some money, and some food, which is not poisoned. Good. So we'll share that, and I don't think we've got room for another sword. So I'm just gonna drop one, because it turns out we're not gonna be able to sell those for very much anyway, so I really just want the experience of sharpening them. So we'll have Locklear do that again. Have him swap swords with Gareth to repair Gareth's sword again. And yeah, we're good. Locklear's weapon craft has increased to 64%, which is not bad. But it's not 100. We'll get there. All right. Let me get my bearings again, and hopefully we don't end up in a fight again before I figure out where I am. Alright, we are just west of Hawks Hollow, not quite halfway to Zune. Presumably, there should be a chest around here somewhere. I think we need to look carefully, because I don't want to miss this. It's important. I'm gonna go off the path here. I'm nervous to miss an encounter, but I think I'm going to go into overhead map view because... Oh, okay. So I'm right by Hawks Hollow. Just trying to get a view of the lay of the land here. So I'm right by Hawks Hollow. Traveling west in the forest. Okay. We've had 2 encounters just like within view of Hawks Hollow, which is funny, I guess. It's you know, it's not like the world is not to scale, so there's just a little bit of almost like a theatrical suspension of disbelief that you got to do, where in reality, you know, you're taking like what would be a 2-3 minute walk to get between towns, but it is actually a couple of days journey where you encounter many bad guys. I think I compared it to Pokemon before, and I think that's an apt comparison. It's a short walk, but it's made longer by encounters and the fact that it's a video game. All right, it's nighttime. It's time to rest. And our guys are a little damaged anyway, so... yeah, they're back to full. Well, they're back to as full as we can get on the road. All right, I've searched all the woods thus far and have found nothing, so that's good. I do see a side path up ahead here, which we will go down in a moment, but there is a bit of woods to search first. Naturally, it is empty. That's fine. All right, let's check out this side path. It's a gray path snaking off into small valley with seemingly nothing at the end. I have a hunch it's going to lead us to some kind of a chest, though. Indeed, there is sort of a clearing back here, but nothing in it but a few trees by the looks of things. That's very puzzling. Why would there be a path that goes to nothing? Very confusing. All right. I'm going to continue looking around back here. Looks like there's another side path ahead. But I'm going to make my way back to the main road as we approach that, just to make sure I have seen everything. I normally would not be this thorough, but it is vitally important that we find this lockbox, and it would be nice to find Lucan's lockbox too, but the main thing is I just want the one for that scribe's quest. Alright, back on the main road, looking at stuff. Did I see... every now and then I think I see a guy, but I think that's just all in my head. Let's take a look at the overhead map and see what we can see. So yeah, sure enough, that path just went off into nothing. And yeah, we've got a little bit of just kind of rugged terrain here to check out. I don't see any chests or anything. Oh, what's this? I found what appears to be a hidden valley with a ranch in it now. Yeah, okay, so it's at the end. I found a secret way into a little valley that's at the end of that next side path. But once again, there's just nothing here. It's very odd. It's getting to be nighttime again. Is there really nothing back there? I don't know if I buy that. I feel like there ought to be chests back there or something. This is very weird. Is the game bugged or something, or am I just expecting too much? Maybe it's just a trick. They're trying to throw you off because they expect you to be looking for this chest. They're fooling you. That, honestly, that could be. All right. Well, it's morning now. We just rested. I guess I'll go back to the main road and take a look at the map again quick. Okay, so we're going to turn left. And, all right. Go north briefly. Just check behind these trees real quick. It's another freaking side path. They're everywhere. This has got to be like a... they know that you're going to be looking for a specific chest, so they give you a bunch of things to check. And only one of them is going to be the one that you want. I bet that's it. Alright, we have another side path. This time there's a fence in front of it, which is interesting. It's like a split rail fence, like you'd see in a farm or something. In fact, I just think we have seen them around farmland. And it looks like a shop at the end of it. Before we go into the shop, I'm going to check behind the trees next to the shop. Nope, nothing there. Alright, let's check out the shop. Locklear gasped. Several severed heads spun in the grey space before him, and disembodied arms and legs flailed together with a sound much like clashing of kitchen scullery. Looking closer, he realized that the body parts were not in fact body parts, but instead very tarnished pieces of armor that had been suspended from the shop's rafters. "You there, careful, it may come down on our heads." A gnomish man approached from the rear of the shop, a match held tight between his fingers. "Shoulda knocked, nearly didn't hear you from upstairs. I can see why you came in, though. Your armor is in quite a state. Another blow to your suit and you'll look like these lot up there. They'll fix you right up." "If it's all the same, I'd prefer to buy an armorer's hammer." "I'm sure you would, but I'm not in the business of ruining my livelihood. I'm an armorer, and I make a living on repairs. People go fixing their own, and I'm out of business, right?" Joseph the Animals. I think we heard about this guy from the dwarf in Macmorda and Cadal. Everywhere Locklear looked, polished metal gleamed, as much a temple to war as any temple of Tith. The cramped shop contained a startling variety of armor. So he can only do repair, and we don't need that. So I guess we're just gonna leave. Well, cool to see him anyway. Joseph the Animal. What a good name, I like that. Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Animal. Alright, we'll get back to the main road here. And I'm gonna head off to the side. Gosh, I feel like I've probably been to this area already, but I gotta be thorough, because I gotta find this chest. Okay, well, I didn't find it. How about over here? Nope, nothing. Wonderful. Alright, back to the road. We got another side path, and there's a temple up ahead, so that's cool. But let's head down this side path first. I got a good feeling about this one. And I see a chest. Not at the end of the path, though. There is another one at the end of the path as well. Oh, no. Well, let's go to the end of the path first. We've got some campfires. Ashes were cold. Wiping the grime off his hands, etc., etc. Okay, so there was a camp here. I think this could maybe be our good friend Lucan's camp, which we're going to go ahead and rest in, and then we're going to go check out that chest we saw earlier. It is nightfall. Resting 12 hours until dawn. And let's check out... There's a chest right here. Rough in its construction and banded with iron, it is a Moradel box. Wonderful. This might be the one. I think it probably is. When it comes in from sea to shore, 20 paces you'll see. No less, no more. Interesting. It's only 3 letters. Like, I'm assuming tide, but I mean, it could be sea, but that's literally in the clue, so that would seem a little lame. No, it's not sea. When it comes in from sea to shore, 20 paces you'll see. No less, no more. I do like it when they rhyme. Let me see. I mean, I can brute force this one because it's only 3, but it would be more fun to actually get it. Let's see, we got GFSE, ORLA, ALGE, S A-L? Sang? Alright, I'm gonna brute force it. Alright, so we got A. I'm just cycling through these as numbers. Shoot. I believe that's the end. Yeah, so I can advance this one now. 3, 4, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It was overkill, but that's okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 1, 2, 3. Ah, we got a fog! It's fog. 20 paces you'll see. Like forward. I thought it was talking about like a measurement. I couldn't get my head off of tide. Of course. Alright. That should have been a lot more obvious. Alright, we got lockpicks. We got silver. And we got a sword. Do we have room for a sword? No, but I'll drop one. And we'll take that one for repairs. Marvelous. Alright, I assume that was the chest, but there wasn't really anything interesting in there. But maybe that's enough. Maybe he just literally just wanted to know what was in it, so we can tell him, yeah, lockpicks, some silver, and a sword. It's like a drop box for Moradel spies, so yeah, if they need a, you know, lockpicks for sneaking around, some money, and a weapon. It's like classic spy drop kit, you know? Drop them in the country with nothing, and they have a place to find the bare essentials for thieving and spying. Alright, well, let's continue west now on the main road. Of course, taking tedious time to search left and right into the woods along the road to see if we find any other lock boxes. We know that there's going to be one. I see a guy up ahead. Yep, there we go. A couple of guys. Well, let's fight them. We got a couple of 3 Moradel warriors. Maybe we can get the drop on them. Their attack was unexpected. Eyes wide with surprise, the enemy scrambled around helplessly, not wanting to waste their momentary advantage. Locklear barked several quick orders and the battle was joined. Excellent. Alright, Owen gets to go first, which is always good news. I'm going to chuck a big Flamecast in there. We're going to do 10 points of Owen's health, which means 30 points of damage. Please don't miss. He hit Locklear. No! Owen, why? Oh, gosh. He did 30 points of damage to Locklear and 5 to Owen and Gorth. That is the worst way to start. Alright, well, Locklear's going to try and attack this guy up front, and this is just stupid. Owen, you owe Locklear big for this. But we're gonna chuck another fireball here at the guy next to Locklear and don't miss. Good. This time he hit. That's good. 15 damage, that's fine. Alright. I'm gonna have everybody attack the same dude, and he's down already. That's good. Only 2 guys remain. I think we're still gonna go for a Flamecast. I think we got this in the bag. I want Owen to get better. Alright, he missed, but he didn't hit Gorth, so that's good. That's a plus. That's a win. Locklear actually needs some health. He's not doing so good. I am gonna Gift of Sung him with Owen, I think, even though Owen is not doing so good either. So I'm gonna give Locklear 10 hit points. That ought to get him back. Yeah, okay, he's got positive stamina now, so that means his stats are no longer reduced. So, yeah, he still missed. Gorth missed 2, and the bad guy hit. Well, at least the bad guy hit. Okay, Owen needs to rest. That's what his job is right now. Locklear missed. Gorth got a nice hit in. That's good. Come on, Locklear, get a hit. Just get a hit. That's all you gotta do. Okay, the one bad guy has started running. See if we can catch him with Lockie. We ran all the way around the guy and then missed. Gorth, go for the kill here. Nice. Alright, Gorth got the kill on the wounded man. We got 1 guy left. And the two swordy boys are just going to gang up on him while Owen just rests, because he might need those hit points for a later fight, since he uses them for casting. Locklear, go for it. There you go. Locklear got the killing blow. He is doing a little bit more damage. He was doing 16 before, and now he's doing 18, so that's good. I don't know if there's a randomness in there, or if it's just the straight amount. I think it might be the straight amount, because I think Locklear always does 18. But yeah, his strength is higher, so he's doing a little bit more damage now, which is great. I think it's that Owen's accuracy casting has increased. Yep, it's at 68, which is good. That's pretty good. So missing and hitting Locklear in the face with a fireball has helped, which is great. Locklear can take one for the team. Cool. So let's search these guys, I guess. We got a broadsword, we got money, and we got armor. So I'm just gonna dump 3 broadswords right now, because I know I can't dump 3 broadswords right now. That's annoying. But I can dump 2 broadswords, so I'm gonna do that. Because I know that I'm gonna find more on the other guys. So middle guy has more money. We got some rations. They are not poisoned. Love to see it. We'll give this another sword to Locklear to repair, and then put it immediately back onto the body. Somebody's gonna like come through here and find dead people with perfectly manicured swords. Oh, lovely. And then we got some poisoned rations. That's why we always check, ladies and gentlemen. That's why you always leave a note. And by that I mean poison. I don't know why I'm quoting a 20-year-old show. Alright, Locklear's weapon-craft ability has increased. Fantastic. I believe that puts it at 65. Okay, actually it's slower than I thought it was, but that's fine. I was thinking of his accuracy melee, which was 67. Cool. It's getting better. At some point I'll do that grinding thing that I did with the armor. So yeah, his sword's getting down there. It's at 49. It's probably part of the reason he's not hitting as much is because his sword is damaged. That is a factor. And that's going to make it hard to get that sword all the way down there, but it'll be worth it. Meanwhile, we will repair Goreth's blessed sword. And Goreth's armor is in fine shape, and Locklear's armor is in just fine shape as well, so we'll go ahead and leave that, since we're not trying to get armor experience anymore. Alright, moving on down the road here, heading west. I'm looking for stuff off the beaten path and not finding anything at all. These could be the lyrics to a song. Some sort. I believe we have come upon a T intersection, which means we must be very close to Zune. Yeah, we seem to be right on top of it. So I'm assuming... Alright, so here's what's up. I think the chest that we found, I'm thinking, is the one that's for the scribe, because it's a Mordell chest, and that's what I was suspecting. We know that, what was his name? Lucan had a chest locked up somewhere. He said it was near Hawks Hollow. He didn't say it was west of Hawks Hollow, so we probably saw it on our way into town and opened it up. And I just don't remember, because we see a lot of chests. Anyway, we have arrived on the main, like, ocean-facing road, and I think if we head just north, we are going to run into Zune. Microsoft Zune. Yep, in fact, here it is, and just as night is falling, too. I don't know if they have a... It looks like they do have an inn in town. So I can see it. I did see it through the trees. Somewhere. I just lost it. Where is it? This is it, I believe. Tavernkeeper greeted them at the door, guiding them inside a cluster of tables. He produced a sheaf of papers, which had been inked in the name of various goods and drink. Oh, this is the guy with the menu that he's showing off, which is cool, but actually I wanted to sleep at an inn, not at a tavern. So they don't have an inn here. Fine, we'll sleep on the ground outside the tavern. And we're not full health yet, but I think that'll be all right. Let's, we've been to Zune before. I don't remember what the shop carries here, but I'm hoping It's weapons. Let's check it out. It is Keeg's Herbs. That is pretty much as far from weapons as I can imagine. Let's see if we have any stuff that we want to sell that we don't need. We have 6 herbal packs, but we want to keep those. Those are really important. We have Dalatail milk. We have 1 serving of it, and I honestly don't think we're going to use that. In fact, I'm just going to sell it. It's just 1. 3 sovereigns, yeah. And the only reason I'm selling it is just for a little extra inventory space. Like, we might use restoratives sometime if we get really injured, but I don't imagine myself having the forethought to use a defense buff before combat, so I'm just gonna leave that. I don't think we need this book anymore. Shopkeeper's not gonna buy it. That's annoying. Will he buy magic? No. Well, okay. What else do you sell? You sell herbal pack. I might buy another herbal pack. I'm gonna buy another herbal pack. I'm gonna haggle on it. 9 sovereigns, that's good. Those are useful as heck. Alright, and he doesn't really have anything else that I want, so cool. Well, we got herbal pack. And we sold Dalatail milk. Alright, so now we want to head north, and we can just zip right through this because we have been on this road before, we've searched everything that we know of, and fought everybody that we know of. So I think this is Macmordain Cadal right here. Yep, that's it. This is that chest that we practiced lockpicking on. And we're going to be back to our favorite town, Lamut, right about now. There we go. Let's go to the garrison. Actually, no. Let's go to the shop. Because I desperately want to sell some stuff. He buys broadswords. Please buy my broadswords. Get them out of my inventory. Please. You know, they're actually worth more than I thought they were. Which is cool. I'm glad. Except a lot of broadswords. I don't think he buys Moradel Lampreys. We'll have to hang on to those until we get to... Wait, no, I think he does. Does he? I can't remember. Let's find out. He doesn't. Okay. Somebody did. I think it was the one north of here. I don't know. Okay, I don't think I have anything else to sell him. I'm going to sell him a stack of quarrels, because I'm not going to use them that much. And I'd rather not have the inventory space. Cool. There's one thing that I think I remember seeing here. Weed Walkers, yes. Okay, so they have Weed Walkers here, and a spell, Eyes of Ishab, right. So I mentioned last time that my brother had looked in the manual for this game and discovered that when we're talking about skills, the stealth skill, as far as determining whether or not your surprise attack is successful, looks at the least skilled person in the party, looks at their stealth ability. So that means if we're going to have buffed stealth with Weed Walkers, we need one for everybody. We have one for Owen, we have one for Locklear, now we need one for Gorth, and that'll make our lowest in the party be the 60 that Locklear has. So let's do that. We've got the money for it. I'm going to first I'm going to haggle for it with Owen. Get him down to 132, that's pretty good, and then I'm going to sell him directly to Gorth. Cool. So now... yes, we got stealth 64, 60, and 62. That's really good. That's very, very good. That's gonna make our... I bet we're probably gonna succeed. I have no idea what our hit rate is gonna be, but I think it's gonna be pretty... I think it's gonna be pretty night and day, because we basically just doubled our party's stealth abilities. So that's fantastic. I'm very excited about that. Cool. I think that's all we have to do in this shop. Let's go do what we really came here for, which is head to the garrison. The garrison was impressive. Sitting high on a hill overlooking Lamut, the military outpost had been constructed years earlier to head off a possible Moradel assault on the western border of the kingdom. They followed a road that snaked through the town and up the rocky hill upon which the garrison sat. After speaking with the sentries at the gate, they were led unto the fortress's massive iron portcullis. Captain Belford greeted them with a smile. "What brings you back here?" he asked cordially. Locklear drew out a ruby they had discovered, holding it out for Bedford to see. The gemstone caught a shaft of sunlight. I feel like there was supposed to be a comma there, splashing the walls with thousands of twinkling red spots. "Are you returning McCullough's ruby?" asked Belford. "Yes, we are." Locklear handed the ruby to Captain Belford. "I'm glad you found this," he said, placing the gemstone into a small velvet-lined box. "It will be good to get McCullough off my back. I've sent so many men out looking for this blasted thing, and there's hardly anyone left in the garrison. That seems unsafe." He retrieved a pouch from the locked chest in this corner of the room. "Here you are, 100 gold sovereigns. Thank you, gents." "That's a lot more than the 4 that shop was going to pay us. Nice." Locklear put the pouch in his pack, and they left. That's fabulous. Looks like the gold we found in the creek has not replenished. Is there anything else we need to do while we're here? How about the inn? Yes! This is Sumani's inn. And we haven't done the barding here yet, so let's do it. Nice work, Locklear. That was beautiful, the tavern keeper said. Of course, it's Sumani. I don't remember the voice I did for him before. We have 60 sovereigns and placed them in Locklear's hand. So we've just paid for the weed walkers and then some that we got from turning in that quest and barding. So nice. Let's talk to Sumani. "Your will, Lord?" Okay, there's nothing else that he has to say to us. That's fine. Well, that's very cool. We turned in that quest. I think we have figured out the scribe's quest. I don't know for sure. There wasn't really anything interesting in that chest that we found, but maybe that's what he was looking for. The party's barding ability has increased. Has Owen gone back to up to 100? I don't know how he got to 99. I'm pretty sure he was at 100 before. I'm not sure what happened there. Gorth's barding has gone up to 5%, which is hilariously low. Well, that's good. We're doing pretty good. If we want to turn in this next quest, we need to jet north to Yaban, and then beyond a little bit, and there's going to be a scribe there. So let's check that out. This should be pretty quick because once again, we know there is nothing for us to see or do. Owen raised a finger to his lips. That's because we ran into Squire Philip. Squire Philip! Owen, what a surprise! Oh, we can ask him about our hands. This is going to sound lunatic, but would you mind letting me see your hands? My hands? Okay, why? Just humor me. A man we spoke to in Hawks Hollow said that we should look for a man who had a sign on his hands. He said that the man had a very important scrolls in his pack, and that we should listen to him. Your hands look fine to me. I don't think he said that. I don't think he said that the guy we were looking for with scrolls would have a sign on his hands. That's weird. But I guess this is important, so I'm going to write that down. Hands, sign, scroll. Cool. Scrolls? Sounds like the man you spoke to might have gone around the bend. Alright. Well, thank you, Squire Philip. I didn't expect you to have new things to say. That's lovely. This chest, I'm assuming we've seen this before. It's a Moradel chest. Ah yes, this is the Prince Arutha from his lofty perch will find our troops without a search. His men will fall, his castle too, and then what will Prince Arutha do? He will die. I'm pretty sure we opened this already and it had sword and armor in it. And now nothing. Okay, good. Good to be thorough. Alright, north. It's nighttime. And I think we've reached Yaban. Yes, we will rest until morning. And then we will continue a bit further. Oh, except I think we can sell our immortal lampreys here. So let's do that on our way. Alright, a bell rang. We were in the shop. The crossroads. Everywhere Locklear looked, polished metal gleamed, as much a temple to war as any temple of Tith. The cramped shop offered a startling variety of weapons and armor. It's a slightly different, but mostly the same description as the place where we could have, what was his name? Joseph the Animal's place? Interesting. Okay, he buys Mordell lampreys. I've got a couple in my inventory. 15 sovereigns. That's pretty good. And this one is 15 sovereigns. Cool. Out of curiosity, how much does he want for my 49% one? I can't sell the one I'm carrying. Fine. Alright, well, we'll find out some other time. Alright, let's leave town, continue down the road, and get to this scribe's house. As I recall, it is just down the road, perhaps past a corpse or two of a Moradel, and then at the end of a path, but I want to say it was on the right side of the road, not the left, but nevertheless, let's go down this path and see what's up. Okay, that's the place. There's a, like, it looks like a shop, but it's just a shack, and that's the place where we learn about explosive chests. So that's not it. Gotta continue a little further. I think I see the path. Here it is, and there's the mortal corpse I was thinking of. And here is the house. Let me save. Jeremy answered the knock on the door. Ah, my friends, I see you have returned. What can you tell of the box I asked you about? Locklear rubbed a loose floorboard with the tip of his boot. We don't know. I will not give you the book until you tell me the contents of that box. I told you before, it's west of Hawks Hollow and south of a small hill. Interesting. West of Hawks Hollow. And south of a small hill. So we didn't find it. So that's good to know. You know what? Let's go back. I am not going to make you watch me walk back, though. I'm going to pause the recording and then pick up in a second. Let's see, how can I lead into this? Watch as we go from the scribe's house to this temple that I forgot to go into earlier. Not really sure how, but I did. Let's check it out. Incense swirled, striding between the columns of the temple. Locklear made for the heavy wooden doors which had been sealed against the daylight and which preserved the privacy of any ceremonies in progress. Pulling a tasseled rope which hung next to the door, he awaited the response of the door warden. Here we are in the Temple of Killian. I'm curious, the description here is the same. If you remember the Temple of Ishap that we went to, the priest said something about it being the Temple of Killian, which is weird. So I'm curious if the text here is going to be the same and that was a mistake, or what. First, let's look at the teleportation thing. The design was odd. See, the Mandela is interested. Okay, so this is the same description as before. Cool. So now, yeah, see, we know about 2 temples now. This is the teleportation screen. So you can, as you discover more temples, they appear on the map, and you could teleport to them. So it costs us 85 sovereigns to teleport to the Temple of Ishap. Don't think it's worth it, but that's just me. Cool. So let's go to the back, and we'll talk. They were shown to a chamber. Here, there were no flagstones or chipped tiles underneath their feet, but instead a thick carpet of grass jeweled with dew. At the far end of the room, a pair of yew trees overarched a throne of woven reed, upon which was seated a striking-looking woman, her shoulder-length black hair bound behind her back with green cord. I am the high priestess of this temple, she said musically. Killian welcomes you to her domain. Yes, this is the same text that we read in the Temple of Ishap, and I think this is the one that's supposed to be here. I think the Ishap one must be a mistake. I wonder if this is one of those things where that text is somewhere in the the ROM, the file, the binary, and it's just linked wrong. You know, like they just typed the wrong address in or something, and it's just sitting there dormant, or what? Interesting. It's curious. Anyway, he tells the high priestess about a drunk, and she's like, that's weird. Why did you tell that to me? I'm a priestess. Cool. All right, so, well, we have another place we can teleport to. Otherwise, nothing much interesting there. So with that, let's, with the click of a button here, suddenly you will go from seeing this temple to this Moradel chest, which is the same one we saw earlier, which is odd. The answer is fog, and I actually just opened it without unpausing, and there was a sword inside, so I took the sword. Maybe we needed to pick up all the items, because this is a box that's south of a small hill and west of Hawk's Hollow, right? Hawk's Hollow is this? Yeah. So probably this is the one. I'm gonna keep looking a little bit, but I think this might be it. So maybe we had to pick up all the items to trigger it. I don't know. But I guess I'll keep looking, and you're gonna go from this chest to either another chest or back to that guy's place, I guess. So here we go. You ready? You ready? You ready? And we're back at the guy's house. I searched the entire road on the mini-map of west of Hawk's Hollow, and I found no other chests. I searched every single small hill and looked to the south of it, and that was the only one that fit the bill. So that has to be the chest, so we can only hope that picking up that sword has done it. So let's see what happens. Jeremy answered the door. Answered the knock at the door. Ah, my friends, I see you've returned. What can you tell me of the box I asked you about? Locklear rubbed the loose floorboard with the tip of his boot. We don't know. I will not give you the book until you tell me the contents of that box. I told you before, it's west of Hawk's Hollow and south of a small hill. Now go. I don't know what's up. Maybe I needed to bring exactly the stuff that I found in the box with me, and I've sold it. I truly don't know. Well, no, I haven't sold it. Maybe I have. Because it was probably a different sword that used to be in there. Yeah, I don't know. That's weird, because it was gold, or rather silver, 6 lockpicks, which we still have, and a sword. And I think I took that sword and repaired it, and then left a different one behind. So maybe I had to bring the stuff? I'm really not sure. This one, I might have to look this up. But that's not going to be today, because we are over an hour here now. So I think it's time to leave you here on that bombshell and great letdown of a side quest. Next episode, we will probably have to continue on to some uncharted waters, pathways. We're going to head toward Krondor. I think we're going to head along the shore road south of Zune. So get ready for that. Thank you for watching. I am Live Overdrive. This is Betrayal at Krondor, and I will see you next time. Bye now.